In today's data-driven world, project management professionals like myself, we're seeing the need to have data skills because our projects produce data, and that data, we need to get insights from that data in order to make informed decisions to ensure our project succeeds. So in this video, I'll be showing how we can use AI to optimize the process of collecting, extracting, cleaning, and analyzing project data. To make this relatable, I'm going to present a use case. Imagine you're a project manager and your project is currently at the execution phase. You're about to perform a mid-project performance review in order to determine the project health status. As you perform the review, you realize that your project is 20% over budget. So you decide to do a deeper dive into the project's financial data in order to understand what the root cause of this cost overrun is, as well as other insights that could help you get the project back on track in order to inform your stakeholders and make an informed decision regarding the project. So you go to your project folder where you have all the expenses and you see the receipts, and there are hundreds of receipts. It's going to take you days to collect the data in these receipts, and that's overwhelming and not productive. That leads me to the workflow that we're going to talk about today. In this workflow, we'll be using AI tools to show how you can collect, extract, clean, and analyze data. So let's start with step one. For this step, we'll be using an AI tool called Expensify. Expensify is an AI tool used to collect and extract data from structured and unstructured documents, like our receipts. So let's go in. To use Expensify, you can either drag your receipt onto this page or you can forward it to this address. So we are going to forward all our receipts to that address because we have a lot and it's just easier to upload directly. Once we forward it, you'll see that it will come into our space here on Expensify. So let us copy the email address, and then we will go straight to our email. And in our email, we will put the address here. We'll go to our drive where we have already downloaded all our projects and receipts, and we will literally just copy it all and upload it. Once they're uploaded, and then we will send it. And there we go. Our receipts, you'll be able to find them once you go to search here. So this is what we pressed, scan receipts, in order to upload your receipts. So once that is done, remember we copied the email and then we sent our receipts. So let us see if it is there now. Okay, so let's look. You can see our receipts. They are here. And if you go to search, you will see also under search that our receipts, so search expenses, they are coming up. You see, they are coming up. You can see scanning. So these are our receipts are coming up now and they're scanning through. So all the receipts that we sent through email, they're already coming up. They're scanning, they're scanning, they're scanning. Now, it could take a couple of minutes for Expensify to receive all the receipts and to scan it so that you can extract the data. So while Expensify is working on its AI magic, you could go over and do other project work and then come back once it's done in order to extract the project financial data that you can then go on to clean and to analyze. So you can see that Expensify has scanned all the project receipts that we have so far on our projects. So what we can go to now is select all, okay? And then we come here and we download. Once this is downloaded, we have our project data now collected and extracted in a CSV file that we can take into another AI tool, which is our next step, step 2, to clean before we further analyze it. Step 2, we'll be using an AI powered tool called Alteryx, and this tool is used to clean data. We need to use it in order to clean the data we just extracted, because there's some parts that may be duplicates, some parts may not be needed. So we're going to use this tool to help us with the magic. All right, so this is Alteryx, and once you sign in, you find here, we just have to upload our data. Okay, so upload data, and you see it pops up in terms of drag a file here or choose your file. So we're just going to choose our file, and then we're going to come into download, and we're going to basically pick the CSV file that we downloaded from Expensify in here, and we're going to say continue. Now we have our Expensify download, and we're going to basically clean it. All right, so we're going to use this in the workflow. So once we do use in the workflow, we can see this now. It's loading the workflow, and once it comes up, then we can clean the data. So I will show you how to do this. So if you look here, you'll see different options here, but one thing we're looking for is data cleaning. So we put it here. And then the good thing about Alteryx is that it literally shows you the output. So obviously this is the input this is the input document. Okay, and you can see that it has various fields, right? And we won't be using all the fields, and it will show you the output immediately so that you can see what you've done. So some key things that we need here, you see, we don't need all the fields here. One of the key things we need here, we need the date, we need the merchant, we need the amount, we need the currency. Those are the 4 fields that we will need for analysis. What does all this mean? So basically it just shows you that it's selecting all the fields. So you can decide to, start cleaning the data by replacing anywhere you see null with blanks, depending on what kind of data you have, if it has NUL, or replace it with 0 anywhere that has NUL, null. Or you can even decide that you want to remove unwanted characters. You can decide you want to make things uppercase. So let us say that we want to make all our merchants in uppercase, just because we see some in uppercase, some not in uppercase. So we just want to make everything uppercase. So I will come here, and I will not select all, obviously, because I only want merchants. Okay, and I'm not replacing all this. What I'm trying to do is to make all my merchants to modify it to uppercase. And that's it. You see, everything in merchants is modified to uppercase. Okay. Now, let's say we want to delete from. Okay. You can come here to do some of the data analysis, or you can drag and drop here. But this is just an example to show you what to do. So you can decide that, what, I want to remove this column. That column is removed, and that is the from column all removed. But that will take a lot of time if you have to go into everything individually in terms of all the columns to say remove. And we don't need all of that for the analysis. Remember, we only need those 4. So what you can do is basically come here to select. In the select function, and the way I'm stringing it is the reason why I'm doing it line by line is because I want everything I'm doing to save. So if I came here and I did it like and let me delete that. If I did it, I came and I did select and I put it to join here, that changes how things work, because when I download this file at the end, what happens is that it will give me what has happened here, or it will give me what has happened here, and that's not what I want. So I am basically saying, do this, clean, then select, and then I also want it to select more. So what happens is that if you don't click on any of these things, you won't see the output here. And it's always good to see the output just to be sure that it's cleaned the data the way you want it to be cleaned. So I'm going to come back here. Remember, the key thing I want here is that I only want the things I want, which is date, merchant, merchant. I want the amount and I want the currency. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now is to remove every other thing. All right. So date merchant, I don't want description, it's not needed. You can see as I'm doing that is removing those columns. I don't want to, or I can even do like this, right? To say deselect everything, and I just select only dates, and I just select merchant the way I want it to be. And then I select, remember I said I want amount, but maybe I want currency first. I want currency, okay? And then currency shows up and I want amount, okay? and amount also shows up. Okay, but you will see that amount showed up before currency, despite the fact I did like that. So here is what you can do. You can drag it up so that currency comes before amount. So this way, I have the data that I can now take into my analytics tool in order to analyze this data in terms of my project data for my expenses to see where am I spending lots of money on that maybe wasn't planned, or what is the root cause for my cost overrun that I'm experiencing. So that's it. So I have the data the way I want it to be with currency before amount and merchants. And you know what? I can decide that, I want merchant to be at the end. So after amount. And this switches. So basically, this is just an easy way. It's a drag and drop AI powered tool that you can use to cleanse your data. You can see that I've simplified my data to only the fields I want. I've simplified it. I've made all the merchants to be in all caps lock because that's what I want to do. And I can basically now take all this because it's cleaned, it's good, and then I can take it to my next tool in order to analyze and visualize this data. So we're going to come here, more actions, and all I have to do is just export this as a CSV. And you can see the workflow is being exported and it will go and it will save in my downloads, and I can pick it up there in order to put it in the tool that I will use to analyze and visualize this data. So that takes us to step 3. Are you ready? Let's go. Now let's move on to step 3. In this step, I'll be showing you how to use a tool that you most likely use or you know how to use that has an AI built-in data analytics tool in it. You want to see it? Let's go. So we're using Excel. I know, right? Excel, the usual Excel. So I've opened up my CSV file. So that my CSV file from, step 2 Alteryx, I saved it as an Excel file so that I can basically analyze the data that I have. Remember, I need to understand what merchants are, am I spending a lot of money on? Can I reduce the money from it? I basically want to get insights from my project data in order to realize where the project budget is going over and how to bring the cost back on track. All right, so this Excel, we have the data that we downloaded, it's on here, and we're going to analyze it now. I'm just going to click on home, and if you go to the far right, that's it, analyze data. I love this aspect of Excel because it basically, you can ask any question about your data and it will produce the insights. Now we have not asked any question yet, but it's already showing us insights from our data. So you don't need to know how to use pivot table or go through and look through the data. It could literally give you the insights immediately. So here, what insight is saying? Amount by date and currency, okay? So I can decide to say insert pivot table because I need this data. So let me just say insert pivot table because I probably can come back to use this data. And you see that it opens in a brand new sheet so that you can always come back to it. So I'm going to go to the initial workflow because I want to see what additional insights it has for me. And then it's showing me that, hey, there are outliers when it does a graph to say date against, amount. So I want to see what these outliers are because that could give me some insight that I need in order to get the project back on track. All right, so another sheet as well. I'm just going to go back to the workflow, see how it's giving me lots of things. Here, it's telling me that DOS seeds integrated as a noticeable higher amount. So yes, basically put all the merchants against the amounts in thousands. That is amazing because in one glance, I can see what merchant is, am I spending lots of money on? And with that, I can know where to cut down project cost. And also I can even show this data to my project sponsors in a project report. So I'm going to insert this pivot chart because I love it and I can use it. It puts it in another place as well with a sheet 3. So I'm going to go back to this and let's say, yeah, these insights are great. And you know what? It has more results to show. So it's not only those ones, it's saying frequency of amounts. That is, if you want to know how frequently you're spending X number of amounts, that will give you insight into the merchant. Let's say you have a monthly subscription on something. You can easily notice it. All those monthly subscriptions that we have that we may not even be using on our project that, this kind of thing can show us and can be a place where, hey, we can remove that budget expense because we don't really use it anyways. Okay. So it says it picked out a merchant here. So it's analyzing the data for us instantly. For a merchant, WestJet, amount as an outlier at date this. So, hey, that might be interesting. Links Air, another outlier. Okay. Then it says about a merchant, right? The amount. So it basically gives you all the analyzes the data for you, and it's even doing, each merchant an outlier. So maybe for a particular month I had to spend more money on my consultants because we had a scope change, and that's what has caused the project budget to increase at maybe in one particular quarter. Right, that makes me to realize that, okay, maybe the project budget increase is a one-off, and the project will go back to normal in terms of spend. That's the increase of the project budget that I realized when I did my project performance review was just because there was a scope change in at one particular point in the project. This kind of data analysis will help me know and help me to be able to communicate it to my stakeholders. So let's say this is beautiful. I like the analysis, but there's something that I'm not seeing yet. Okay, maybe I want to know how many different merchants are there. I click on this. And then it tells me 19 different merchants so far in my project. I'm like, okay, fine. Thank you for that answer. But it's still not really giving me. Maybe I want to know the top. So you can also type in the questions that you have. So I'm just going to say, what are the top 5 merchants? And then it gives me the top 5 merchants and the sum of the amount that I've used on these merchants, literally. So I can see where I'm spending money on. And from here in this project, I can see Dorset Integrated, right, is the highest merchant, and it's a lot of money compared to others. It's basically taking up about 50% of my project budget. So I need to see what value is Dorset Integrated bringing into this project, and is this amount valid? But based on this, right, I can actually see that Dorset Integrated is our third-party supplier, and that's why the amount is high. And I can literally go back to my project plan in terms of my budget, right, and see how much I've spent on Dorset Integrated so far on my project. And if I see that, oh, I've meant to have spent only 15, maybe half of that amount, and I can say, okay, how come I've spent more? So this analysis helps me to be able to make informed decisions for my stakeholders. So that's it. Using Excel, a tool that we all are familiar with, you can easily analyze your data with their AI-powered analyze data function in the home section of your Excel. And like, we put some pivot sheets here. You can take this data, take this graph, you can take this insight to say these are the highest, and this is how it goes in terms of the highest merchants. This is the price, this is why it's high. So basically, we collected and extracted data using our Expensify AI powered tool. Then we cleaned up our data using Alteryx. And finally, we use Excel to analyze our data in seconds. Literally, you put in your data and then it gives you the analysis. And if you do not like the analysis, or you want to more than what it said, you can easily just type it in, and then it releases it. It provides that pivot without needing to know how to, use Excel in terms of the pivot table, or how to use it for data analysis. You can easily use this analyze data function. Now, from here, we have analyzed the data. You can take this data to your project team, discuss it, brainstorm on it, and know what next. Or you can also take this data that you have gotten in the table format, in the graphs and charts format, and you can pull out this information that you have gotten, this graphics, this visualization that you have, and use it to create a report for your stakeholders. And there are various AI tools you can use. You can use PMI Infinity tool as well to know what sections should be in your report. All you have to do is prompt your PMI Infinity tool and to give you a report template that you can take and use to present this information that you have analyzed from your Excel tool. There you have it, a simple AI workflow that you can use to collect, extract, clean, and analyze data. Literally in minutes, you're able to take your project data and gain insights in it so that you can make informed decisions. So, what are you waiting for? Use AI workflow to maximize time while gaining project insights and delivering successful projects. Thank you.